Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. AM 630.
It is 8:37 on the Morning Majority, now broadcasting in crystal clear FM stereo sound across the greater Washington, D.C. area, and we are loving it. You can still hear us, by the way, on 630 AM, but we're now on 105.9 FM as well. So for the very first time joining us as we broadcast on the big FM stick is our good friend Bret Baier from the Fox News Channel. Bret, good morning.
Good morning.
You're down in Orlando because
on the FM.
Yeah, we're glad to be on the FM. You're down in Orlando because you got the big Fox News Google debate tonight, and we were talking earlier about this, Bret, and it was sort of the consensus in our room, at least, that this is probably going to be a pretty big night for Rick Perry. I mean, he sort of got beat up on during the last debate and had took some hits. Many people think that his numbers have softened slightly as a result of that, and he sort of needs to reestablish himself. What's your sense?
I think he'll have plenty of opportunities and on a number of different topics. Clearly, Governor Romney is making a run and really hammering him down here on Social Security and taking that issue and running with it, saying that, alleging that Governor Perry is not electable. The tough part for Governor Romney is that it is a fine line to walk with Republican primary voters. And as you know, a large percentage of those do believe that Social Security really is not going to work in the long term and needs to be fixed and restructured. So, and it's largely the same argument that you will hear from the Obama campaign should Governor Perry become the nominee. So Governor Romney has to walk a fine line here, too, in the way that he's attacking Perry.
I want you to give people some sense about the preparation that goes into one of these debates. I've actually been backstage as you guys get ready for a debate and watched the process very closely. It's an all-day thing. I mean, and in this particular case, it's an all-week thing getting ready to ask these questions.
It is, Brian. It's been quite a process. And, you know, this is number 3 for me as moderator, South Carolina, Iowa, and now here. And the process was a little different this time in that we took questions from YouTube and Google, and that was interesting because we had a committee going through 19,000 questions submissions, and there were 109,000 votes on those questions that kind of helped us weed out some of them and go with the ones that people voted were the most wanted to ask. So that helps in the preparation.
Were you surprised by any of those questions?
Some of them I am surprised by, and candidates will be surprised by. There are no snowman questions.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's a concern, I think, for some, but they're really solid questions, and a lot of them are questions that we would have asked in our own way if somebody had not phrased it the way they did.
Well, I guess it'll stop Newt Gingrich for actually yelling at the person on YouTube if they're not going to be live there to say that was a gotcha question. So that's nice. All right, how's it going to work tonight? What's the setup for tonight's debate? You guys obviously getting questions from the YouTube, and you're asking questions as well. Will there be opportunity for some exchange between the candidates as well?
Yes, of course. Yes, we will foster that and be able to, I'm sure, react to candidates calling out other candidates out. You know, there's plenty of opportunity to distinguish from the Obama administration on a number of different questions, and there is opportunity to distinguish from each other on the stage. So when that happens, we will kind of step back and I'll moderate and kind of referee and keep everybody honest on time.
Hey, Bret, I should mention to everyone that I will be on post-debate panel with you guys on Fox. Looking forward to that.
Right, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you very much. I'm excited about it, and it's going to be a long night for Mary Catherine Ham.
Yeah, it is.
But I wanted to ask you a little bit, since you're in Florida. This is it Quinnipiac, the Q poll? How do you say it?
Quinnipiac as well. I always say it, but you can say it
At
any
any
way you
rate,
want.
the Q poll
Right, gotcha.
just came out showing 57% disapprove of Obama in Florida. And a note also, the Ponzi scheme idea, actually with Florida GOP, not so bad. 60 to 14%, 60 say Perry wants to fix Social Security. So that's interesting. But what sense are you getting down there in Florida?
I think it's really tight here in Florida between Perry and Romney. A Miami Herald poll just out yesterday had them tied, and Newt Gingrich in third, but about 20 points back. So I do think or sense that the campaigns are focusing here, and I think Florida will come and play in the general election clearly because the economy, the unemployment rate is above 10.5 here, and it was at 12, but still it's at 10.5. The housing situation is really still very bad in Florida, and a lot of people are concerned, as you heard by that poll, of the president upside down, which obviously he won in 2008.
All right, and Gary Johnson is in the race in the debate this time. How does that work out where you decide that Johnson's in, and I guess everybody else is still in as well? John Huntsman. There was some talk that Huntsman may not qualify for it, but how did you determine to allow Gary Johnson in the debate this time around?
Yeah, the rules were set at the beginning, and they were the same rules that we've had in South Carolina and Iowa and here, and that is 5 of the most recent polls in which the candidates are one of the options, an average of 1% in 5 of the recent polls. So up until this week, Governor Johnson was not in it, and another poll came out and put him just above 1%. Governor Huntsman is at 1.8%, so he did clear the bar.
Okay.
But you know, there's a decision to make. You know, whether you raise the percentage, and you know, there were some inside our organization, I'll tell you frankly, that wanted it at 5%, and you know, then it dramatically narrows the field. Mm-hmm. But is it too early to do that? And that was the battle back and forth. I think, you know, we kept it the same, and Governor Johnson qualified, and that's why we added him.
All right, well, we'll be watching tonight. Thank you, Bret, as always.